we are doing script practice with a new agent. Go ahead.
Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hello, attorney.
Yes?
Hi, this is Charles.
Keep going.
This is Charles, a realtor with attorney joint network at Keller Williams. I was calling you because you requested a property evaluation on our website. I want to know if any questions we can answer for you or get to know your situation a little bit better.
Who is this again?
I'm Charles Colston, a realtor with attorney joint network at Keller Williams.
Oh, okay. And how'd you get my information?
Yes, you registered on our website for a property evaluation. So we want to know if there's any questions we can answer for you or get to know your situation a little bit better.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember y'all's website. It was a pretty good website.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't have any questions at this time.
Well, give me one time. Can you tell me how long have you lived in the home?
So this is what I would say. I would not lead with if you don't mind,
Oh,
because it's like a filler, and we don't want them to mind. So we'll just say, so how long have you guys been in the house for? Just real, you could say real quick if you want to, or you could just say,
how long?
yeah, like if you feel like they're rushing you, I use that real quick if I feel like I'm being rushed. So be like, real quick, how long have you guys been in the house for?
Pick up from there.
Go from the beginning.
Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hello, attorney.
Yes.
Hi, this is Charles Colston, a realtor with attorney joint network at Keller Williams. You requested a property evaluation on our website, so we want to know if we can answer any questions you may have or get to know your situation a little bit better.
Who's this again?
Charles Colston, a realtor with attorney joint network at Keller Williams.
Okay, and how'd you get my information?
Yes, you registered on our website for property evaluation.
Which website is that? 'Cause
TexasOnlineHomeSearch.com.
I don't remember going to Texas Online Home Search. Are you talking about Texas Online Home Value?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Okay, I remember that.
Attorney, how long you lived in your home?
So go back to the questions or get to know your situation before
Okay.
you go to that.
So
So if I'm shooting you back and forth, trying to figure out who you are, how'd you get my number, I'm not thinking about the question that you asked me. So you go back to that.
Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hello, attorney.
Yes.
This is Charles Colston, a realtor with attorney joint network at Keller Williams. You requested a property evaluation on our website, and I want to know if we can answer any questions you may have or get to know your situation a little bit better.
Who are you again?
I'm Charles Colston, a realtor with attorney joint network at Keller Williams.
Keller Williams. What is that?
Yes, real estate brokerage.
Oh, okay. And how'd you get my information?
Yes, sir. You requested a property evaluation on our website.
Okay. So how can I help you,
Yes,
Charles?
I want, can you tell me how long you lived in the home?
So ask first, can I answer any questions or get to know your situation? Like, hey, yeah, we just wanted to reach out really quick and see if we could answer any questions for you or get to know your situation a little bit better. Okay, start back from the beginning.
Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hello, attorney.
Yes.
Yes, this is Charles Colston, a realtor with attorney joint network at Keller Williams. You requested a property evaluation on our website, and we want to know to call you to see if you can answer any questions you might have and get to know your situation a little bit better.
Who's this again?
Yes, I'm Charles Colston, a realtor with attorney joint network at Keller Williams.
Oh, you're a realtor. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And why are you calling me?
Yeah, so you requested a property evaluation. I want to know if there's any questions you might have, or we want to get to know your situation a little bit better.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't have any questions.
Okay. So, attorney, let me ask you, how long have you lived in your home?
I've been here for, I guess it's been, let's see, it was before Katie was born, so 8 years.
So you've been here 8 years. So you bought your property around 2011.
Yes.
Awesome. So you bought your property.
No, 2009. Yeah, it was 2009 because I had Katie in 2010.
Okay. Awesome. So you bought your property during the market crash, during the buyer's market.
Yes, I bought it as a foreclosure.
So What numbers make sense to you to sell your home?
Okay. So just think about it. If I bought when the market is low in a buyer's market, that's the best time to buy, right?
Right.
When's the best time to sell?
The selling market when the market is high.
And what are we in right now?
When the highest has been in the past 30 years.
So that's all you have to say.
Okay.
So, wow, so you bought your home, you did like the perfect real estate transaction. You probably didn't plan it that way, but you're supposed to buy when the market's low and you're supposed to sell when it's high. And right now, I don't know if you know, but right now the market's better than it's been in 30 years. So that means the prices that we're seeing people pay are more than they paid in 30 years. Did you know that? So just think about it logically. The scripts are there to guide you, but you have to like live. You have to live it. It has to become a part of you because it's a part of the value that we provide to our clients because we understand the market and we understand where we came from, where we are, and where we're going to. So the market is going to go back down. So you want to capitalize while we're here. So let's start back from the beginning.
Ring.
Hello?
Hello, attorney.
Yes, I just took a drink. Who's this?
Yes, this is Charles Colson, a realtor with the Attorney Jordan Network at Keller Williams.
With the who?
Attorney Jordan Network at Keller Williams.
Okay.
For your requesting a property valuation on our website, I'm going to see if you can answer any questions you may have or get to know your situation a little bit better.
When did I do that? I don't remember.
Yes, someone requested a property valuation last night around 8 p.m.
Okay.
on our website.
Which website was it?
Yes, it's TexasOnlineHomeValue.com.
Oh, okay, I remember. Yeah, I was just checking out the values.
Awesome. So we want to know if there's any questions we can answer for you and get to know your situation a little bit better.
Yeah, I did have a question because you guys had my house as a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, and we actually have 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths.
Okay. We can actually check that with the Naturist Text and verify that information with the Terry County assessors.
Okay, so you guys can do that for me?
Yes, we can.
No, you can't. We don't want to do that for them.
Oh, okay.
So if somebody said that to me, I would say, oh, it's okay. You know, a lot of times the tax stuff isn't accurate, but they're probably having your assessed value lower and they base how much you pay in taxes on how much your house is worth. So unless you're ready to sell it, then I wouldn't worry about that. Once we market your property, we're going to make sure that the information is accurate. But for now, don't worry about what the assessed value says.
Okay, good. Because I was like, okay, when you said that, I was like, okay, have we listed the property already?
No.
Okay.
We do pull from, we actually use the same metrics that Zillow uses.
Okay.
With that.
So, I mean, just from my knowledge, so if someone was to say that.
And they could, that's why I'm throwing it at you, so I want you to be prepared. So if they say that, I tell them don't worry about it. If they want to update it themselves, they can contact the county appraisal district.
Okay.
But I wouldn't recommend them, because if they have more bedrooms and more bathrooms, that means it's worth more. Mm-hmm. And they're paying a percentage of what they think the house is worth, the assessed value, for taxes. So keep it as low until we decide to put the house on the market, and then we'll make sure that it's accurate everywhere at that point. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am. Matter of fact, that's another person I had when I was studying this weekend. I know when I was an agent before, we always had to verify stuff that was in MLS. Yeah, we always had to verify.
We don't have to verify. If it's not accurate and we're going to list the house, we want to make sure it's accurate. But we're not going to go fix anybody's stuff because they could have added on and wrong.
No, okay, so like when we list the home, so like a couple, if they decide to list the home, before I list it, for the real list and get that information off
before we list it, we're going to confirm that all the information is correct.
Okay.
So we're going to walk the house and see, oh, this house has 4 bedrooms, 2 baths when we walk it. In the tax roll, I'm sure we've looked at it or we've looked at a previous MLS listing, one of the two. If it doesn't match, we're going to make sure that we notate that
Okay.
so that when we input it into MLS, we have it.
Okay.
My thing fall down?
Oh, it's over there.
I got it. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am. Now, what about as far as square footage?
Square footage, you can confirm that. If it's, most of the time, the square footage is going to be accurate.
Okay.
Now, they might tell you, hey, the taxes say this, but it's really this. And then you can say, okay, where did you get that from? They might have their builder's papers, because
Okay.
we'll have to reference it in MLS, like the source of the square footage.
Okay. Because even if they had additions added on, they should have been updated.
They might not want to update it
Okay.
per se, because like I said, it pushes that value up.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Ring.
Hello?
Hello, attorney.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Charles Copeland, realtor with attorney Joy Network at Keller Williams. You requested a property evaluation on our website, and we didn't know if you could answer any questions you might have, or get to know your situation a little bit better.
Who is this again?
Yes, I'm Charles Copeland, realtor with attorney Joy Network at Keller Williams.
And why are you calling me?
Yes, because you requested a property evaluation on our website at TexasOnlineHomeValue.com.
Oh, okay. Now I know why you're calling me. Okay, yeah, I was just checking.
Yeah, so we want to, like I said, we want to know if we can answer any questions you might have.
I don't have any questions.
Okay. So, Terry, can you tell me how long you living now?
We moved here, and I was just kind of checking, so I don't have a whole bunch of questions and a whole bunch of time, but we've been here for 7 years.
So you moved here around 2010?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. So actually, you bought in a box market was the perfect time to buy it. Did you realize that?
Yeah, we bought a foreclosure, so.
Oh, awesome. Well, right now, the market is better than it's been in 30 years. So this is actually the perfect time to sell a home. Did you know that?
I heard that, and that's kind of why we were kind of curious about looking, just to see what the value was.
Yeah, actually, what number makes sense to you?
What?
What number makes sense to you as far as what would you want to get for your home?
That's what I was kind of looking on y'all's site to see, like, what number I could get.
Okay. Okay, right now, attorney, you tell me how much you owe on the home?
I am not sure exactly.
Not that, it's a ballpark.
Why do you need that?
So I can tell you how much equity you have in the home, if you was to list your home.
Okay, I think we owe like around 110.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. So right now, looking at the calculations here, the homes that are sold in your area, the average home is selling between 250 and 340. Does those numbers make sense to you?
Does what?
Does those numbers make sense to you? If we can get that price for you?
So what would that leave me with after all the fees and everything? If I was able to get like the 250.
Well, of course, you have to pay off your mortgage, which you said 110. And then with the fees for closing and everything, commission.
So you always want to take, like, depending on how much we're going to charge, but our commission plus an additional 1% will cover the title fees.
Okay.
So if it's like, let's just say the low number would be, or you could go somewhere in between. Let's just say we thought, okay. So let's just say we were going to charge them 7% to do the listing. You would take the 7% plus you'd add another 1%, so that would take you up to 8%. And then if they don't have an escrow account, so if they pay all their taxes, there's going to be another like percentage of taxes included in there. So I always like to charge an additional 2% for taxes, title, and then the commissions. Additional 2. So if we're gonna do 7, then it would be 9. You would factor in about 9%. 1% would include the tax, the title, and the other for taxes. That's probably gonna be a little bit high, depending on where you're at in the year. Because if we're in December, that means like a whole year's taxes are due, right? If it's January, February, there's only 2 months of tax proration that they're gonna have to give credit to the buyer. Make sense?
Okay, makes sense.
So if you take, let's just say, because you told her 250 to 340.
Yes, ma'am.
So let's just say 300.
Okay.
So take 300 and multiply it by 9%.
$7,000.
So add that to the 110, because that's how much she owes.
137.
Okay. Now take 300 minus 137.
Well, let me know what different
163.
So she would net around 163,000.
Oh, okay.
Make sense?
Yeah, now that's.
Yeah. So whatever we're gonna charge plus
Sale price.
yeah, the sales price times the percentage that we come up with. So anywhere, it's gonna range anywhere between 8 and like 10% or 11 if we went up to the 9, because you're always gonna add 2% on top of ours to cover their title and taxes. So whatever our commission's gonna be plus 2%.
Okay.
Okay, so you take that total percentage times the sales price that we think we could get, then add that cost to their payoff.
Okay.
So that'll be the total amount that's due. So they have to pay off the loan, plus they have to pay all their fees. Then you take, when you add those two together, you're gonna subtract them from that sales price, and that gives you the amount they should net.
Okay. I'll rewrite it out tonight. Okay.
Okay, so I'm not sure what happened, but like the home furnish, I'm not able to see Bernadette's like cost anymore.
Do you wanna call them?
Oh yeah.
Ready?
Ring.
Hello?
Hello, attorney.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Charles Coach from local with the Attorney Jordan Network at Keller Williams. You're registered on our website for a property evaluation. We'd love to know if you can answer any questions you may have or get to know your situation a little bit better.
I didn't have any questions. Yeah, I just registered like 3 minutes ago. You guys are really quick in responding.
Yes, and thank you for that. But yes, like I said, you want to make sure that you don't have any questions for us anyway?
I did have a question. So your website said that my house was gonna be worth gave a big range. So I was hoping to get like a more solid number. Because I think the range that it said was like 300 to like 450.
Okay. How long do you live in the home?
Well, my husband passed away about a year ago, and we had this house built together back in 2010. So it's been, that's 7 years.
Yes. So you bought it in the buyer's market. Well, you built it in the buyer's market But right now, the market is better than it's been in 30 years. Did you know that?
I've heard some things on the news and stuff about the real estate market, really picking up. And I'm just at a point right now where I have to do something because it's just too much house. It's just me and um my husband had an obsession with having a large house. So we built something really big that I really just can't keep up with anymore. So it's just way too much maintenance.
But definitely get you some smaller, want to downsize, we can definitely help you with that. Right? You know how much you owe right now?
Um, I'm trying to think because when my husband died, everything was kind of tied up in probate. So I ended up having to get a reverse mortgage because it was paid off originally.
Oh, okay.
But like I said, I ended up having to get a reverse mortgage. Do you know how those things work?
Well, actually, that's, that's not my area of expertise, but we do have, members that can help you with that. Uh, but
You said, what did you say? I'm sorry.
that's not my area of expertise, reverse mortgages. But we do have, preferred lenders that can help you with that.
Okay, so a reverse mortgage. A reverse. I just want you to be prepared.
Yes, I appreciate it.
A reverse mortgage is a type of loan that they have on the property. So they don't need a lender because they already have it. So a lot of times elderly people will do that, and basically they're borrowing money against their equity.
Okay.
So it's the same thing as any loan. It's just how much do you owe to that reverse mortgage company?
Okay.
That's what you would ask. Oh yeah, we can handle that for you. How much do you owe to the reverse mortgage company? Because they have a mortgage, but it's just done a little bit differently. But if they sell the house, they would have to pay
Pay that
that.
off.
Yeah,
Like a lien, okay.
yeah. So one thing I was doing, I was talking really slow
Yeah.
because you want to mirror match. So you want to match my intensity. So if I'm slow, you want to slow down. If I talk fast, you want to speed up because it'll agitate the other person. Like if I'm talking really slow and I feel like you're rushing me because you're talking really fast, then I might not want to talk too long. I might feel like you're not being sensitive to me. So just think about that as you're talking. Like, what is the tone? And you'll start learning their personality type too. Like, D's just want bottom line numbers. C's are very detailed. They're going to want your whole listing present, pre-listing packet, all that to be sent before. And Ask is going to be, oh, yeah, we have family. Like, they're all about everybody else. I is going to, how are you today? Oh, yeah, the sun is shining bright. So you'll learn, like, with different personalities, how to pick up and what things, like, motivate different personality types.
Okay.
But the very first thing is mirror match. So if I'm slow, just slow way down to match it.
Ring.
Hello?
Hello, attorney.
Yes.
This is Charles Copeland. I'm located with the Attorney Joy Network at Keller Williams. You requested a property evaluation on our website, and we want to know if we can answer any questions you might have or get to know your situation a little bit better.
Oh, who is this again? I'm sorry.
Yes, I'm Charles Copeland. I'm located with the Attorney Joy Network at Keller Williams.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yes, we want to know if we can answer any questions you might have or get to know your situation a little bit better.
Yeah, I didn't have any questions, Charles. My situation is I was just checking to see how much equity I had.
Well, awesome. I can help you with that. How long have you lived in the home?
We've been here for about 5 years now.
Oh, about 5 years. So you bought it around 2012?
Yes.
Oh, awesome. So you bought towards the end of the buyer's market.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, awesome. That was first time to buy. But actually, did you know that right now the market is high as it's been in the last 30 years, and this is actually the perfect time to sell your home?
That's what I heard, so that's what I was trying to figure it out.
Yes, yes. So can you tell me how much you owe now?
I think we owe like around 120.
120.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What numbers make sense to you if you sold your home? What can we do? What can we?
So I think the best way to get that out of somebody is to pull up, while you're talking to them, pull up the Naturist Text.
Okay.
So do you remember how to get
Oh
there?
yeah, I gotta say something. I gotta say something. Go back to it right quickly.
So if you go into, I'm gonna pull it up on here, Realist Text. And then let's just say their address is,
Yeah, I was back on ours this weekend.
this is one we just sold. So let's just say this is their address. You would go, while you're talking to them, scroll to the bottom and say, it looks like your property is worth between 200,000 and 260. Do those numbers make sense for you to want to sell it? So you can say that, because we know like it's around about 223, but we're not going to give her an exact number. We want to give the range, and we want to exaggerate it a little bit on the high end, because we know that people are paying more now than they did in the past. So they'd probably be able to get anywhere from 10 to 20,000 more than what's on there. So that's the best way to get that question answered, because it becomes a little bit awkward if you just kind of say, well, what number makes sense? You might be able to say that, like, so I know you've probably looked on different websites, and you have in mind what number you'd like to get for your house, because we can look it up and see if we're able to get that number or get you more. So that's another way that I found that's been effective.
So do you like when you get to that part right there, actually you say, oh, and you so you get to the part where actually one number makes sense to you. Do you already have that pulled up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it won't be
So when I'm calling, I'm going into that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Like when I get them on the phone, I'm pulling up the Realist Text.
So while you're
While I'm talking to them.
Okay. Gotcha.
So I already have it up in front of me.
Okay.
And you can really, if you want to look at this from Boomtown, let's just say this was the person. You can just copy this link. You can just copy this. Hit the wrong thing. But you can just copy it and then go into Realist Text. And paste it.
Oh, okay.
And then it's right there.
Oh,
so when you're talking to them in here, you can just copy and paste, and it's that quick.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah. So it makes it, you're not like typing and looking.
Okay.
You just copy and paste it right in.
Okay.
And then you can confirm that the name is the same.
Okay.
So I can see like this person that I'm talking to that registered is Mary Lou Cantrell. And then when I pull it up, Mary Cantrell.
So you want to make sure they're the owner. You actually talk to the owner, so not somebody just messing around.
Yep. All right, let's start back from the beginning.
Ring.
Hello?
Hello, Tony.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Charles Colson, the realtor with the Checkin Network at Keller Williams.
Mm-hmm.
You requested a property evaluation on our website, and we want to know if we can answer any questions you might have or get to know your situation a little bit better.
Oh, I didn't know you guys were going to call me, and I'm at work right now.
Very quickly, can you tell me, Are you interested in selling your home?
Yeah, we thought about it.
How long have you lived in your home?
We've been here like 7 years, and it's just I really don't like having a two-story. I don't like going up and down the stairs.
Well, awesome. Actually, you bought it the perfect time you bought it in the buyer's market. But right now, the market is how has it been in the last 30 years? Did you know that?
I've heard that. That's why I was trying to figure out how much it was worth.
Right. Do you know how much you owe on the home?
I think we owe like around 100.
Over 100.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, actually, I have your property put up here. It looks like now, estimated between, you probably say your property for estimated between 260 and 310. Those numbers make sense to you?
So that's what I would get for it.
That's what estimated, of when a neighbor buyer will be willing to pay for it.
So you said 260 to 310.
310, yes.
Okay. So how much would, after fees and stuff, how much would that leave me with around?
If you can give me a moment, I can calculate that for you.
Okay. I mean, I'm at work, so is it going to take you a long time? I thought since you're a realtor, you kind of like know. How long is it going to take you to do it?
2 minutes.
Okay. I can give you like a few seconds if you can get it done. And I owe 100 on there. I think I told you.
You owe 100?
Yeah.
Once you paid up your existing loans and all the commissions, you should, definitely you should have about $183,000 remaining. Does those numbers make sense to you?
Yeah. That would be good. So you're sure we can get that much?
That's an estimate. And what the market is right now, actually people are paying more than the asking price.
So what you want to say is, yeah, that's what our estimates show. We would need to come out and look at the property, and just, see it in person. But that's a roundabout, that's a pretty accurate estimate. Are you guys available?
So you go straight to the
So we
point.
can look at it. And then if they're like, yeah, so let me ask you something. If the numbers make sense, and you guys like love our marketing, are you ready to move forward and put your house on the market? So that's going to be like your last question. But if there's an opportunity for you to get an appointment, like when you say that, it kind of leaves the door open. Like when you say we need to see the house first, that opens up the door to talk about an appointment. So are you guys available? What's the best date for you guys typically when you're both at home? And if they're like, and then you can throw out a date, because what they'll probably say is, you know what, let me talk to my husband. Let's go down that path so I can do that with you.
Okay.
So go back from the beginning. Now be prepared to calculate, because I want you to get quick. So basically just think about it. So on your phone, just do your phone and pull up your calculator, because you might not always have that with you. So you're gonna calculate, so you said the house was worth like between, what did you say, 250 and 260 and 310? So if you say 300,000, you're gonna just take 300 and you're gonna multiply it by 0.09. And you're going to take that number, which is 27,000, right? You're going to add that to what she owes, which is 100,000. So you're going to take 27,000 plus 100,000. And You already have the 27 on there, so you're just gonna add 100,000 to it. So that's 127. And then we're gonna subtract, so you don't have to clear it out and add it up. Just subtract it from the number that you think she can get. So subtract it from 300, so minus 300,000. Even though it's a negative number, it's telling you how much equity, 173. So you can do that without doing a whole bunch. You just take the amount times 0.09, add that to the payoff, and then subtract it from the total amount.
That's fine.
So let's do it real quick. So I'm telling you I owe 50,000, and you're telling me the house is worth 185. So 50,000 and 185. Walk me through the steps. What's the first thing you're gonna do?
So we're gonna do 185 times 0.09. That's 16.65.
Okay.
And then,
Times 0.09, and then what's your next thing?
then we gotta add what she owed.
So add that to what?
50,000.
So plus.
So it's 65,000. Then we're
Okay.
gonna subtract that from the 185.
So minus 185. And that gives you how much?
118.
Yep. Good.
I have to express it a couple times.
Yeah, let's do it again for I owe 125, and you're telling me my house is worth 330. So talk me through your calculator.
Okay. So we'll do 330 times 0.09. 29.7. Then I need to add what she owed, it's 125. 154.57. And then I need to take subtract that from the 330. 175.
Good. Okay, so you got it.
Okay. That's still I'm gonna do a couple times a night.
Okay. So you should be able to just pull up your phone when you're talking to somebody, or in person, you should be able to pull up your phone and just do that.